Hi, last lesson we wrote a letter, and this lesson we're going to write a speech. So this is the recent quotation which I've chosen that we're going to write a speech about. It's from Amanda Gorman at the US presidential inauguration in January 2021, and the quotation is, "What just is isn't always justice." So what I'd like you to do is make a list of 3 issues which you could write about in a speech with this title, and there are some ideas around this page. The lesson objectives are to revise important sentence issues, plan a speech, write a speech using suitable phrases and techniques, and hopefully share the speech with other learners. We just need to recap again on this grammatical and punctuation issue which has been cropping up in recent written work. So the issue was not to use ing present participle verbs on their own without I am, I was, he is, he was, etc. Just saying ing, thinking about my life, walking along a beach, is not a simple sentence. It's just a fragment, and if you use that you should separate it from an independent clause by using a comma, such as walking along the beach, your dependent clause, I am thinking about my life, your independent clause, or I am walking along the beach, which is your independent clause, thinking about my life, and you can see that they're separated to make complex sentences with commas. Don't forget to punctuate your sentences properly in between sentences using a full stop, a question mark, an exclamation mark, a semicolon if they're related in meaning, or a joining word. Please don't use a comma or nothing. Semicolons are used between complete sentences which are related in meaning. They're also used between list elements which contain commas, but we don't need to worry too much about that here. Please remember to include at least one semicolon in your work between sentences which are related in meaning. Don't forget commas are used between items in a list and then before, after or around discourse markers or signpost phrases which you should be using, and before, after or around extra information, before or after quotations, and before the fanboys joining words. Between full sentences when the joining word is in the middle, at the start, I'm sorry. So here is your task. Please plan a speech on this topic with at least 5 paragraphs, including an introduction, and separated by empty lines, 3 topic paragraphs on different aspects of the topic, followed by a conclusion. So that's 5 paragraphs in total. If you'd like to watch the video, here's the address. Metaphors. Don't forget to include metaphors in your writing. Here are some examples from presidential speeches from the United States. A light shines in the darkness, and the darkness shall not overcome it. Yes, you, my fellow Americans, have forced the spring. Now we must do the work the season demands. I assume, unhesitatingly, the leadership of this great army of our people dedicated to disciplined attack upon our common problems. So here's your list of helpful hints for writing a speech. Keep it short and simple. Try and use the rule of 3. Don't forget your imagery, metaphors, similes, and emotive language. You can create an enemy, we, them, and you can take control with the word I. Always use rhetorical questions to make your reader think. Don't forget to make your writing beautiful by using alliteration, assonance, sibilants, etc. And include humour if you can. Here is a model answer from the exam board. It's very well peel paragraphed, but it does not contain humour or repeated phrase or creating an enemy, so it's missing quite a few of the techniques we've talked about. It's more like an article, but it is very well worded and reasoned. Stop the video if you'd like to see this. Here are some great online speeches. Feel free to type in the short addresses into YouTube to watch these. I highly recommend Leonardo DiCaprio at the United Nations on climate change. So, time to write. Here are your helpful hints. and I'm expecting a 5-paragraph speech.